Hi, it's Steph. Welcome back to my channel where I give you quick tips and tricks on how to use Excel efficiently. Today we're going to talk about the average if and average ifs function. Let's just pop over to the spreadsheet. This is some data that I received from an outside source. It doesn't have any formulas in it. All of these are hard-coded numbers, including these total lines. You can tell because when I click on it, up here it says 11. It doesn't say it's a total. But if I wanted to look at an average for the first time sales visits set for everybody, I could type average equals average and do a simple formula that highlights the data that I want to see. The problem with that is it's including these total rows as well, when really I only want it to be averaging the people in here, anything that is not a total. When I highlight just those cells, you can see down here my average at the lower part of the screen is 2.375. So that's what I want this number to be. So let's build that formula. We need to use an average if. So I will type equals average if. And now it's prompting me for what range does it want me to look at to judge whether or not to include it based on a certain criteria. And then lastly, what is the actual range of data it wants me to average? So we want it to look at these cells here. And we want it to exclude any row that says total. So that is my range. I'm going to put a comma there. And my criteria is it's going to say not equal to total. But we do have to do some syntax in here, which is when you have an equals or a greater than or less than sign, you need to put those in double quotes and then put an ampersand in to string together this function. So does not equal total, and both of those need to be in double quotes. I will put a comma here, and then I will highlight my range that I want it to average and press enter. And there's my 2.375. Now let's talk about how to copy this across. We need to lock some references in place. So if you copy this cell right over here, it will change the A's. You notice this said A5 to A27. Now it's looking at B5 to B27. So we want it to always look at A. So we're going to lock that with an F4 is a toggle to lock the cells. And the B5 to B27, we can leave those unlocked because we do want it, when I copy and paste it now, it's looking to column C, which is correct. So let's pull this all the way over, and I would probably do a copy and then paste format, which is right click, paste special formats, so that we can see what it looks like. Now, what if you wanted to see an average of everyone where it didn't say total, but also you wanted to exclude any zeros, because sometimes the zeros can really drag you down. Like, what if I wanted to see how many dollars have been won by my productive sellers and not my people who are at zero? So whereas here we used average if, now we're going to use average ifs, which means multiple conditions. So let's start building that formula. Equals average ifs. And this time, the first thing we put in here is the average range, the range on which it wants me to compute. Then we start building our conditions. So let's choose our average range, and I'm going to press F. No, I'm not going to lock it right now. I was going to do F4, but we want this to copy across. So we'll put in our comma. The criteria is similar to what we did up above, which is we don't want anyone where it says total. So we're going to lock these by pressing F4 after I select that range. And remember, we're going to say does not equal total. So in double quotes is how we do that, comma. And I'm going to look up here to see what I'm doing so I don't have to do this. And now it wants our next criteria, which is going to be anyone that is not a 0. So I'm just going to, it's going to be this range. Just have to be careful here, which is going to be B5 to B27, comma, and again, in double quotes, put my arithmetic operator and the and now I can just put the number 0. I don't need to put that in quotes because it's not text. Let's close that and see what it does. Now my average has jumped up significantly when I'm only averaging the people that have activity, and I'm just going to highlight those people where it is not 0 and just see if it agrees. Yes, my average down here is 3.4545, which is what I got. And I'm going to copy this across. I can just drag it across. And I think we locked what we needed to. This is looking to C, yes. And then we will just copy and paste special format. Whoops. Oh, I guess that did it. Okay. So I think that these, if we wanted to bring these all down to just be 2 decimals, then we can do that. Okay, F4 is a repeat, that action key, so that's how I did that really quickly. So that is your introduction or a quick tutorial on the average if and average ifs. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and feel free to comment below. Let me know what other issues you're having with Excel and how we can solve them. Join me next time. Thanks.